Excusez-moi. If you want to be more specific when asking how much is it, and refer to a certain type of object, we first need to drop the word ça. Next, we need to know if the object is a feminine or masculine object. If it is masculine, add se when referring to it, or set for a feminine object, and then say the noun. For example, hat is a masculine verb. Chapeau. Excusez-moi, combien coûte ce chapeau? Excuse me, how much is that hat? Excusez-moi, combien coûte ce chapeau? And skirt is a feminine noun. Jupe. Excusez-moi, combien coûte cette jupe? Excuse me, how much is this skirt? Excusez-moi, combien coûte cette jupe? A can answer by saying ça coûte, ça fait, or c'est. For example, ça coûte 39 euros. Ça fait 39 euros. Or, c'est 39 euros. What number is 39? I'm not telling you. Okay, it's 39. It costs 39 euros. Now it's time for English Insights. A quicker way to ask how much is c'est combien, which literally means how much. Even when you ask for a coffee, you can ask the cashier, un café c'est combien s'il vous plaît? One espresso please, how much is it? At this point, when you ask for a coffee, you can ask the cashier, un café c'est combien s'il vous plaît? One espresso please, how much is it? At this point, can you count euros in French? We are going to learn how to do this and much more.
Do you remember what this means? Of course, it is a number for 10. So 70 is simply 60 10, 70. 70. 80 is 80. Can you break this down? The first part, which we learned in the previous lesson, is 4, 4. The second part we learned earlier in this lesson. What does it mean? That's right, 20. So altogether, saying 80 is like saying 4 20. 4 20. 4 20. And 90, 90 is just like 70. Add 10 to the number before. 80 plus 10 is 90. 90. 90. The last thing to learn today is how to form compound numbers above 20. This is also super easy. Take the tens step. 50 is 50 and then add 6. 6. 56. It's done. Isn't that easy? Let's make another number. For instance, 98. Take 90, 90, and add 8, 8. 98. One last tricky part. If you're trying to add the number 1 in the compound number, for example 21 or 31, you need to add an "e" before 1. 21 is not 21, it is 21. 31 is 31. After only 2 lessons, we are now able to count to 100 in French. In the next lesson, we are going to put your number knowledge to use. Do you?
Another text says, "Peter sat on the ground, swinging in the breakfast in a beautiful garden, holding across the square from where I'm standing. They're smoking cigarettes and they leave their arms together and we are singing. I can hear the song that we are singing. 3/4 men stand on the corner of the square and watch them. I tried to say to along with them, but the girls just started giggling. The president don't mind. They're just 2 weeks. Kind of thing. Amanda comes into the square in the direction of the river. She's trying to make a inquiry for Papa. She can't get through. She leaves a message. The tiny little man in suit falls into the back of the taxi and the driver. I think she's a woman. She's an angel. I put the car into gear and stopped there. Bill drinks a beer by the side of Walter. And a rap should go and hold his hand, asking to buy beer for me. I join. I stand, still as a stone. The boy drinks a beer by the side of Walter. I know that I should go and hold his hand. Asking to buy beer for me. I don't. I stand still as a stone. I'm trying very hard to keep this as simple as clear as I can. He tells me what to do as a plane taxis gently towards the terminal. He tells me when to stand up from the seat and how long to wait before everybody else has got down from the plane. He tells me where the best way to wait for my luggage is. I took his seat. I'm full of work clothes and a mess, and I'm full of things that I need to just stay alive. He tells me where to get my sleeping pills, and where to get an energy drink, and where to get new earplugs, and where to get a new bra, and where to get some tinfoil, and where to get some masking tape to stick my finger to the window. He tells me not to worry, that I can't quit. He says, but now not really. In the past 6 months, I've lived in 3 different cities. I've stayed at home offices for 5 nights. On 3 of those nights, I was on my own. I get to places where the lady on Airbnb told me I could collect the keys for the apartment. I get to the apartment and everything's fine, and I get the keys so that it's all paid and everything's put in nothing to place. I get into the apartment. There's a garden. I can't believe there's a garden. I can't believe I can breathe. I go into the room where I'm going to sleep. I have 2 hours I sleep. I wake up. I shower. I just figured out the exact shape of the place. The woman who owns the place has left all her photographs on the wall of her and her friends, and are they her children? Does she has children? Where are they? Where are her children? She just left her place. After a while, I think about her bed. I had the strongest sensation that she slept in my bed the night before I arrived. The shape on the pillow where her head must have lay. I can't help feeling that I've been here before. Have I been here before? I do what I always do. I take a picture of the wall. I put them in the drawer. I took some scarves off my bed. I dropped them over her things. I checked the Wi-Fi signal. It has 3 bars, it's good. The password works just fine. A formula. A formula. A formula. Was she like this woman whose head lay on my pillow, whose clothes hung in my closet? I look at her clothes, I take down her clothes, I try them on, I enjoy the feeling of her clothes against my skin. I crack a little bit, but only a little bit, and then stop. I dream about the voice in my head. I always dream about the voice in my head. Sometimes it's a man's voice, but mostly it's a woman's voice. Mostly it's a woman whose story I tell. I always dream about her on the first day. More precisely, I dream about her clothes. I have worn her clothes 100 times. I've worn her clothes in 100 cities. I've said the things that she says. I've moved my hands in exactly the way that she moves her hands. When I put on this corset, where does the stitching end? Where does she start? Where do I mean? Where do I end? Where do I end? I go somewhere. Lying out in the city, I like all the confusion and chaos and the amazing way people move around one another without ever touching one another. There is something about this city that is stranger than others. There is something about the city that makes me think it isn't real. There's something about the city that makes it look like a stage set. There is something about the city that makes it feel like an opera. I keep thinking there is somebody behind me. There isn't. I check. I want to be an actor. I only did the singing because I couldn't get a place in acting school. That's the truth, actually. And then I decide to stay. I like the way it makes me feel. I like the way it makes my belly feel. I like it up close in my neck. A coffee break on the first day, one of the ensemble I think, one of the secret girls I think, or one of the orchestra it might have been. But anyway, somebody asked me really the last job I played was and who was the last director I worked with, and I can't remember. I can't. I'm so sorry, it's so embarrassing. I did look it up on my phone. Sometimes I found conversation difficult when I could be singing. I found myself feeling like I should sing at somebody rather than just. If I really tell you the truth, the only time I ever feel real anymore is when I am her. A traveler trapped by her tired cars, a rebel restricted by fate, a lover unable to move anymore. Did you ever get a lady like that? Did you get a lady like that? I leave the rehearsals after the first day. I can't for the life of me remember the address of my apartment. I have to look in my emails to find it again. I leave the rehearsals after the first day. I can't for the life of me remember the address anyhow. I have to look in my emails. I can't remember my email password at first, but then I do, and I have 15 new emails. I'm looking at the names of the people who writing them. I can't remember who half of them are. can't remember my email password etiquette, but then I do, and I have 15 new emails. I'm looking at the names of the people who deleted them. I can remember who half of them are. It is for a very short time, like I can remember anything. It feels like I can remember who the other people in my family were, or what the name of the town I was born in was. I decided to call my boyfriend. I decided to ask him. I haven't spoken to him for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's the middle of the night where he is. That doesn't matter. Never mind about things like that. I keep seeing the same for people. I see them everywhere. There's a moment when I realize exactly who they are. It's family lover, then Wesley, the father, the Mikhail, the Oscar, the Aspen. I'm fine. I am, really. Everything's fine. The intended is fine, the director's fine, and the conductor's fine, and the music's fine, and the children all of them fine. They tell me where to stand and how to move my arms and what dress to wear and how to come into stage. They tell me when to look at him and when to look at him and what to wear when I look at him and where to put my hands when I look at him. And they never tell me who the fuck I am meant to be. That I have to decide upon for myself. And in the last rehearsal, John C gets a hand on in the prison scene. I'm so excited. He sings the flower song I listened to in years ago. Last week, out of the blue, the intendant asked me to come into his home. Tell me, do you like it here? Do you like this house? Do you like me? Would you like to walk here again? Would you like to walk for me again? Well, you should start acting like you do. Maybe you should show a bit of respect here. Maybe you should stop running around the bar made of glass all the time, huh? Maybe you should do a day's work for once in your life. Are you crying? Don't cry. It's really annoying. Would you cry, huh? Call your manager. Tell him you were crying. So how much I think he was then? Do you know who I am? Have you got the slightest idea who the fuck I am? I haven't heard tell him that I'm not really sure anymore. I can't really remember. I'm trying to look it up on my phone. My boyfriend sounds like the crackles of a burning wood. My boyfriend smells of a letter and a tangerine. My boyfriend tastes of ice cream and coffee and cigarettes. My boyfriend feels like the soft hair on the horse's ride. My boyfriend's the color of the sunrise in the countryside. It takes him a bit longer to answer the phone than I had thought. The ringing tone is strange. It's a different ringing tone to the one it normally is when I ring him at home. He answers the phone after a while, though. It sounds really weird. The line is terrible. His voice sounds like it's coming from a long way away. He doesn't say my name. My name can't have come up on the caller ID on his phone. He answers as though he was talking to a total stranger. Hello? Well, who is it? I tell him that it's me. I tell him I'm sorry for calling so late. I just need to talk to him. Something's happened. I want to tell him about it. It's like he can't even hear me. Hello? Is there anybody there? Can you hear me? I'm sorry I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. I'm going to go, okay? I'm going to go now. Hands up, I call back. He goes straight to his answering machine. I don't leave a message. The traffic outside the stage entrance tonight is about to stand still, and for a while I can't figure out why. For a while I think it's for me. Did I do this? Are these people trying to see me? I get closer. I see what's happening. An 18-year-old boy has his motorcycle helmet removed and his head is resting against the side of the helmet. He's entirely motionless, his dad. The moment I can remember the way from the stage door to the canteen, I can remember the name of the woman in the canteen, I can remember the way from canteen to my dressing room, or where from my dressing room to the stage, I can remember where I need to stand. I can remember my voice, I can remember how the tone goes, I can remember the name of my character. Should I look it up on my phone? I bet I could find it there somewhere. I can't stop thinking about that boy. I make my way to the dressing room, eventually my dressers is waiting for me. She sits outside my room all the time, waiting for the tiniest noise. Standing to attention all the slightest noise. Getting ready, poised, always. Is it her voice? Or could it be her all along? I have my flower check, I have my ring check, I've got everything in order. I kept thinking about the dead body's skin, I kept thinking about the dead body's bones. I cannot figure out where the point of the body is when life inside it has disappeared. It's redundant now. Tonight is going to be a big night. Tonight they won't be a go-go dancer. Tonight they won't lap dance. Tonight they won't be a porn star. I wonder how it would feel to have somebody carefully place my head on the side of the sidewalk like that. I wonder how it would feel as they remove my helmet. I wonder what the faces would look like as they look in horror at the crack at the back of my skull. I wonder about how it would be to feel that stillness. When I move my hands, she seems to move her hands too. When I raise my arms, her arms raise too. When I sing, she sings at exactly the same time, in exactly the same way. When I think she sings exactly the same thoughts. And now I'm not sure if the thoughts are my thoughts at all, or if the voice is my voice. And now I'm not sure if the thoughts are my thoughts at all, if the voice is my voice, or the arms and hands are mine, or if all these things belong to Carmen. When I sing, she sings at exactly the same time, in exactly the same way. When I think she sings exactly the same laws, same songs. And now I'm not sure if the songs are my songs at all. conductor looks at me with suspicion. His eye knows what I'm going to do. The director looks at me with a terror in her eyes. She knows what I'm going to do. And then comes into my room and places my hand. Shannon comes into my room and places a hand gently on my shoulder. He knows the children in the inside know. Her dress and nails, the way the makeup grows around her fingers. The way the makeup grows around her fingers through my hair. She knows the smell of skin free. She's been here for hours and hours and hours. They have on a table. Those people I keep seeing. I see them everywhere. The voices on here, you know. Don't stop me. Don't stop me. If you try and stop me, I will pop out your heart. Do you smile because you're happy, or do you happy because you smile? Do you kill because you feel angry, or feel angry because you kill? Do you fuck because you feel calming, or do you calming because you fuck? Am I doing this because I feel scared, or do I feel scared because I'm curious? You can hear them. You know, I'm listening to them. You know, I'm ready. I stare into her eyes. And a little black mirror on my phone is very charming. I can hear them. They don't listen to them. They don't written. I see her eyes in the little black mirror on my phone. I stare out. I give them a break. I walk out of my room. I know exactly where I'm going to go. Realizing how just exactly where to go. My dresser looks at me. One moment, just I'll be one moment. I walk away from the stage area. I walk along the corridor. After a while, she calls after me. Madam, call me. I have to go. Madam, call me. I have to go now. Now on the stage entrance is reading newspaper on his phone. It takes him a second after he passes me out to realize who I am and what I actually am. I walk away from the stage area. I walk along the corridor. It takes him a second after he passes me out to realize who I am and what I'm actually am. And by the time he does, I'm aware. I think that I hear somebody say something. Did somebody say something? I look behind me, but there is absolutely nothing there. While trying to remember where I've come from, I realize there is nothing there. I try to think about my dressing room, but I realize there is nothing there. In the front of house, there is nothing here. In the bars and the courtrooms, there is nothing there. In the offices at the back of the building, there is nothing there either. I try to think about the stage side. I realize there is nothing there out there either. What's that? I've sat there. Something. 这个吗？I realize there is nothing there. I look behind me. The street has disappeared. The building has disappeared. The river has disappeared. The train station has disappeared. Everything has disappeared. No office is there. I try to look on my phone to find out what happened, but I can't turn it on. It won't turn on. I look into it. All I can see is my own reflection. A driver taxi waits outside the opera house through among the offices in the building. Beautiful old building across the square from where I'm standing. They're smoking cigarettes and they're leaning their arms together and they're singing. I can hear the song that they're singing to close and stand in the corner of the square and watch the women. I try to say goodnight to them, but the girls just start giggling. The placement of mine, they're used to this kind of thing. There's a moment when you speak a word and it takes flight. Something which is just a shape becomes around. Something which is just a shape becomes a gesture. Turns into the pages, so just a shape can smash somebody heart into a million tiny pieces. And then there's a moment when you sing it. When you sing it,在在好累哦，好累哦。
On va parler du petit déjeuner français. Bonjour à tous, membres de la famille Français Authentique, et merci de me rejoindre pour cette nouvelle vidéo. Je suis en train de faire une nouvelle catégorie, une nouvelle série de vidéos, un nouveau type de vidéos sur ma chaîne YouTube que j'intitule Vivre en France ou la vie en France. Et en fait, dans ces vidéos, je vais essayer de parler des coutumes françaises et de comment on vit en France. Un des slogans de Français Authentique, c'est penser, comment je peux dire, comme si vous étiez en France. Et un de mes objectifs, c'est d'essayer de partager avec vous, au-delà des aspects culturels français, au-delà des choses qu'il y a en France, des lieux, la ville d'Alsace, le Mont-Saint-Michel, etc. Essayer de vous parler un petit peu de la vie quotidienne française et des coutumes et traditions que l'on a ici en France. Et j'ai décidé aujourd'hui de vous parler du petit déjeuner parce que c'est
啊，研究生。这谁啊 ？Thank you， 香菜。我是伦敦大学，不是。哎，你能看到我的位置吗？我没有显示位置吧？你怎么知道我在哪里？ 在心里面那么疲倦的一些，快跟从眼前太远。我看见了最阳光的笑脸，好希望都在被靠背，因为有些好累哦。我学着不去担心的太远，不计划太多，反而更勇敢冒险，丰富的过每一天，快乐的换每一天。哦，第一次遇见一天就注定的脸，有什么故事都想了解，我感觉我懂你的特别。你的心有一道墙，当我发现一扇窗，偶尔透出一丝暖暖的微光。就算你有一道墙，我的爱会更像窗台上方，打开窗你会看到悲伤融化。啊，我说你怎么知道我在哪里呢？这个会显示地理位置吗？对啊，正念说什么专业？我是艺术类的专业，是吗？第一次遇见一天，只有你侧脸，有什么故事好想了解，我感觉我懂你的特别。你的心有一道墙，当我发现一扇窗，偶尔透出一丝暖暖的微光。就算你有一道墙，我的爱会分身窗台盛放，打开窗你会看到悲伤融化。你的心有一道墙，当我发现一扇窗，偶尔透出一丝暖暖的微光。就算你有一道墙，我的爱会关上窗台盛放，打开会看到悲伤融化。你会闻到幸福的芬芳。艺术类什么？艺术类因为我那个会卡吗？卡吗？没有不好说话，但是我那个 YouTube 也在播，就觉得很累而已。你的心有一道墙，闪烁，你的不说我怎么看天空。我是你的很想了解，我感觉我懂你的特别。 你是有一道墙。只是我心的光。啊，我是什么专业啊？我是学校是艺术类的，我是艺术类的专业。我这个名字不是我起的，是我那个号 什么叫艺术类？我学的是剧场类的 ，theater。你们为什么不睡觉啊？几点了？我感觉对你的特别，你的声音，你的情，你是谁？哎，好累哦。对的，对的。我主要今天上了好久的课，然后下课又，我想想我在干嘛？下课把我的作业读了一下，然后学了1个小时的法语。刚刚把作业读完了，但是我没有背，老师应该让背的。我最近压力很大，然后再查一下别的学校。这样，因为我们这个学校感觉上不久了，我也不知道，没有想法，随便查查。我好饿，可是我吃的太多了已经。一次这样走了，是我是很小心，我感觉对你的特别，你的声音，你的情。Bonjour，学了1个小时的法语之后，脑子里全部都是乱七八糟的。
You need to add an A before 1. 21 is not 1, it is to say the number. For example, 这soir, je vais vous montrer la réponse à la fin de cette vidéo. En juin 1889, le congrès de la Deuxième Internationale Socialiste est réuni à Paris pour le centenaire de la Révolution française. Il décide de faire du 1er mai un jour de lutte à travers le monde avec pour objectif la journée de travail de 8 heures. Cette date est choisie en hommage au mouvement du 1er mai 1886 de Chicago lorsqu'une grève faite par des syndicats suivi par 500 000 salariés afin d'obtenir de 8 heures.
木偶表演吗？是
C'est en
那个。
1947 que le 1er mai en France devient
Selon
une proposition de Raymond Lavigne, la deuxième internationale socialiste décide de faire de chaque 1er mai une journée de manifestation avec pour objectif la réduction de la journée de travail à 8 heures. Cette revendication a été obtenue, mais la tradition de manifester pour les droits des travailleurs est restée. Chaque année depuis, de grandes manifestations ont lors du 1er mai.
我们没有化妆，所以下巴都起痘了。
Les Français manifestent en défilant dans les rues. Ils crient
最
des
近都没
slogans
有
et
化
portent des
妆。
pancartes sur lesquelles sont affichées leurs idées politiques. Le 1er mai est également le jour du musée.
豆啦，
Cette coutume a été lancée en 1561 par Catherine de Médicis. Lorsque son fils, le jeune roi Charles IX, alors âgé de 10 ans, offrit un brin de muguet aux dames présentes. Cette habitude est restée chez les Français et aujourd'hui encore, nous achetons et offrons du muguet à nos proches le 1er mai. Il n'est d'ailleurs pas rare dans les manifestations de voir des participants défiler avec des brins de muguet attachés à leur boutonnière. Un film français intitulé 1er mai est sorti en 1958. Yves Montand, un célèbre acteur français, incarne le rôle principal. Le film raconte la journée peu ordinaire que vont vivre un père et son fils.
可是我不想学了，现在几点了？都12点了，我还学什么学？
That the UK is past the peak of the coronavirus outbreak and said that he will set out a comprehensive plan next week for gradually lifting the lockdown. But his announcement came with a warning that the country mustn't lose control and risk a second spike of the virus. It was the first time the Prime Minister led the daily briefing since himself becoming ill with COVID-19. Amongst the measures being considered to restart the economy are the reopening of schools and of public transport. Mr. Johnson also said that face coverings could be useful as part of the strategy. This is the latest data, which suggests that deaths peaked in the middle of April and have been falling gradually since then. A further 674 deaths linked to the virus were recorded in the last 24 hours. That takes the total number of UK deaths of people who tested positive for the virus in hospitals, care homes and in the community to 26,771. Our political editor Laura Kunzberg reports.
Our doors have been closed for 38 days. In city, country, life hidden away, our streets fell silent. Behind this door now, decisions must be taken about what's next, with perhaps the worst behind us.
Good afternoon. I can confirm today that for the first time, past the peak.
But on his own to these now routine press appearances, the Prime Minister has claimed there is no easy or quick way out.
We've come under what could have been a vast peak, as though we've been going through some huge alpine tunnel. And we can now see the sunlight and the pasture ahead of us. And so it is vital to control and run slap into a second and even bigger mountain.
You'll set out an exit route, but next week, and it won't happen fast, guided by the crucial R infection rate, control the infection.
Keeping the R down is going to be vital, and we can only do it by our collective discipline and working together.
Like the Prime Minister himself, Debbie Clifford in Cheltenham struggled with the virus in intensive care. She feared she'd lose her life.
I can't tell you how I feel about the loss of, well, friends, the 4 people who died on my ward the day that I got well, the fact that I had to mentally say goodbye to people that I knew potential I thought I'd never see again. The lockdown can't stop.
There's been huge suffering, people's health, but also to their country's wealth. Many people are very, very worried about making ends meet. By continuing with lockdown, are you telling the public that the economy just has to wait?
For every life lost, and we know that the country is sustaining for people's the dreams of people's that they're seeing shattered in their businesses, their anxieties about their jobs. We totally understand that. If we're to bounce back as strongly as we can, that we don't have a second bout of this, or a second bad spike, because that would really do the economic damage.
There was of a plan next week and a hint of how a new normal might look.
Face coverings will be useful.
He's looking for work now where he lives near Bury St Edmunds to support his partner in the little girl.
This past month I have been furloughed and then made redundant. The position that this has put me in has made me feel completely worthless. It's made me, in that sense, I don't really know what to do, to be honest.
Economic distress is one of the reasons why the opposition is pushing for answers.
But up until now, the government's reply to me has been, we're not going to produce a plan. On fruit, we will see a plan. We'll look at it in good next week to see what the plan is and have to.
Lockdown's already changed so much. Andy Gower in Milton Keynes has 3 kids and stage 3 cancer. His treatment for the NHS is meant to be opening up.
Coronavirus has taken away the resources, and the operation means that I might die. I don't see why the NHS see my life as less important than something with coronavirus.
The rate of infection may be fading for now, but a disease that emerged thousands of miles away is, in one way or another, for each of us, already close to home.
Laura joins me now. Laura, a glimmer of hope from the Prime Minister, but a very cautious one.
Certainly, Rita. I mean, look, passing the peak of the disease is an important moment, suggesting that the government is ready to say to all of us that the infection itself, this virus, is past its most aggressive phase in our country, at least for now. But it certainly isn't the end of this story, because, of course, most immediately, there are still people falling ill. There are, of course, still families worried tonight about relatives who may be in hospital with the virus, or people who are just receiving news of losing a loved one. There are, of course, also people whose lives have been changed for the worse because of the impact of the lockdown, people who are worried about what the next few months might hold for them. And of course, still a worry because although we are perhaps at the end of the first phase, the steps that we take to the next phase of getting through this as a country are far from certain. The Prime Minister, of course, was keen to emphasise today that we did not end up in the worst case scenario that was predicted, but there have still been many bumps in the last few weeks. There have been things that go wrong, and we're still in a very uncertain phase. An exit strategy of a kind is promised to be spelt out next week. But this is a journey of many, many miles, and passing the peak is an important step, but only one.
Laura, many thanks. Our political editor, Laura Kunsberg, there.
Some of the measures being considered to allow workplaces to open again have been seen by BBC News, and they include strict rules to protect the health of staff while at work. There's no date set for relaxing lockdown, but the pressure is growing given that more than 6 million British workers have now been furloughed, with the government paying their wages. Prime Minister is expected to give more guidance this coming Sunday on relaxing the lockdown in some form. Now, the measures include staggering the start times for employees to avoid crowding in and around the workplace, if it's not possible, and there'll be regular cleaning and disinfecting for workspaces and surfaces. The guidance, as the government announced today, the death 280 people tested positive for coronavirus. That brings the total of these deaths in the UK so far to 28,734. Well, we start tonight's report by our business editor, Simon Jack.
Making the workplace work. At the Bentley factory in Crewe, workers are returning after a 7-week layoff, and with 250 of their own new safety measures, the boss is convinced they can do it safely. Protective masks will be compulsory.
It's a micro-management operation, but it's life and death if we don't get it right. So we are passionate about this, and we can see a way through for our type of operation, even with the 2 meters by halving the production, but certainly if we can come down to 1 meter, that would be almost business as usual for us.
So factories have their own specific challenges, but so do other work environments like offices. Maximum number of people in the lift, one-way traffic signals throughout the workplace.
In total, there are 7 sets of guidelines for 7 different types of working environment, but there are some common.
Little Red Riding Hood. Let's start the story a different way. It was dark inside.
So today let's talk about how to write a research proposal. What should be in a research proposal for a bachelor study or a master study or a PhD project? Roughly speaking, the general stepper and the main components are missing. same. So it research proposal for a bachelor study or a master study or a PhD project, roughly speaking, the general steps are similar, and the main components are more or less the same. So in this video, let's talk about these general steps, roughly speaking. First, here's an obvious question. What is a research proposal? What does it do? When we're writing a research proposal, we're essentially just proposing to do a research study. We need to tell the reader what is it that we want to research, what is the question that we want to have answered, and how this question will be investigated and answered. That is what a research proposal does, for us to clearly propose our research ideas to the supervisor or the professor or the manager or whoever it is who's going to read and hopefully approve the proposal. And that is also why we need to write a research proposal before doing a research study. Now, what is the first step in writing a research proposal? If we look at how people start writing a research proposal, most students will probably start with a topic in mind. Usually, when I meet my students for the first time and ask them, what do you want to research about? They would normally have an idea, which is good. They would have a topic in mind, or they have some ideas in which they're interested, or they might have some kind of a personal story or anecdote, which represents a general research topic that they want to go into. And this is a great starting point. So really, the first step in writing a research proposal or designing a research study is to have or choose a topic which is of interest to you. But having a topic in mind is really not enough. Nobody can do a research study on a topic. A topic is too general, it's too broad, it's too wide, it's too non-specific. How can we collect and analyze empirical data to address something so general and broad? We've got to take this general, broad topic and narrow it down into a researchable question. Now, how can we do that? The best way, and maybe the only way, some people would argue, to do that is to read about it. The idea behind academic research is that no matter what topic we are thinking of, chances are there have been plenty of people who wrote about it and researched about it, so it is our job as the researcher to read those literature. It is only through reading relevant literature on our topic and related topics can we know what has been done on this topic already. It is only through reviewing relevant literature can we decide on a specific area to focus on or a particular direction to go into from within this general topic which we're interested in. After we have conducted our lit review or preliminary lit review of the proposal, we can decide on what specifically this proposed study is going to investigate. In other words, at this point, we are going to define our research study. Research definition can come in different forms. Sometimes it is formulating a problem statement and a bunch of research questions, or maybe your professor will ask you to develop a central research question and a number of things that I just mentioned. But regardless, the idea is to clearly define what this proposed study is going to investigate, be it in the form of questions or hypotheses or models or any other way, shape, or form. You will notice here that research definition or the formulation of main research questions is generally done after the literature review, which means our central research questions shouldn't be answered by the lit review. They should be answered through the collection and analysis of imported data. I mean, if your research questions can all be perfectly answered just by reading literature, textbooks, and articles, then what is really the point of conducting empirical research? Okay, now that we know what our proposed study is going to investigate, next we need to decide on how.
刚需要帮助我们作业。我要去洗漱一下。 I'm so sick of lying. You gotta know that. 일부러 baby 달콤해 baby 힘들어 baby Do you love me? 사실 사랑한다는 말해주는 거야 자꾸 흔들리는 내 모습이 너무 미워져 들키지 않게 보다 커 일도 없어 예전에 느껴 그때의 감정이 다리도 없어 매일 밤 전화해 맨정신도 아닌데 일도 없는 진심 So baby bye bye 일도 없는 진심 So baby bye bye 솔직히 내 너의 목소리 기다리고 있어 좀처럼 부름쳐줘 너무 느끼기 전에 일도 없어 예전에 느낀 그때의 감정이 다니고 없어 매일 밤 전화해 맨정신도 아닌데 일도 없는 진심 So baby bye bye 일도 없는 진심 So baby bye bye 성범범은 두 번 더 보고 싶어 두 번 세 번 보면 너를 더 안고 싶어 너와 컵리 손에 끼고서 함께 이 길을 걷고 싶어 매일 바쁜 난 더 좋아져 두 번 세 번 나의 볼을 꼬집어봐도 마치 dreamy 꿈을 꾸는 듯 생각만 해도 내 미스터치 입술이었죠 달콤하게 쭉 온몸에 난 힘이 풀려 내 맘은 흔들어봐요 I'm falling for your love 입술이었죠 Every day with you 널 보면 내 눈이 감겨 몰래 살짝 따가워 익숙해질래 내 꿈결 같은 나를 미스터치 부드러운 감정 잊을 수 없어 끈거리는 네 얼굴 빨개지는 건 It's so lovely 사랑스러워 난 네가 자꾸만 좋아 미스터치 입술이었죠 달콤하게 쭉 온몸에 난 힘이 풀려 내 맘은 흔들어봐요 I'm falling for your love 입술이었죠 Every day with you 널 보면 내 눈이 감겨 몰래 살짝 따가워 익숙해질래 내 꿈결 같은 나를 내 소원을 들어줘요 영원한 사랑이 이뤄주게 짜릿한 느낌 절대 만드는 달콤 온몸에 난 나는 머리감은 두려워 너 상대 맞았어 하루하루 밀어냈던 느낌 그대로 화려해 던져준 모습 따뜻할까봐 겁나 걱정 마 baby I'm so fine 아니야 그렇지 않아 괜찮아 내 맘은 더 날아 누구보다 차가워 네가 너는 거야 잘 바이바이 baby I'm no 별로 슬프지 않아 부르지 않아 벌써 끝나버린 거짓말 같다고 말하지 마. 내 맘을 It's like 하늘과 슬픈 노래를 부르 You know this feeling 사랑 못할 거라 생각해 가끔 화려해 던져준 모습 더 예뻐진 것 같아 손을 더 알아 걱정 마 baby I'm so fine 아니야 무섭지 않아 괜찮아 내 맘이 더 날아 누구보다 차가워 네가 너는 거야 바이바이 baby I'm no 별로 슬프지 않아 부르지 않아 벌써 끝나버린 거짓말 같다고 말하지 마 No 그리워 매번 잠들기 전에 목소리 들어야 새내는 눈 감았지 시간이 정말 모든 걸 지워준다 해도 Someday 다 그렇게 된다고 내 맘은 거짓말 같다고 말하지 마 내 맘을 덩덩덩덩 밤이 되면 가슴이 쿵쿵쿵 멜랑콜리 쉽지 않은 기분이 때로는 지 아이스크림과 같아 난 알록달록 하지만 좀 차가워 평범하다는 무엇도 좋아해 진짜만 진짜라다 정말 끝까지 지켜보지 못하게 쓰고 있나 That's not enough baby 사랑이 안될 것 같아 행복할 게 늘어져 싫었던 것 같아 진실 없는데 달콤한 말은 Thank you sorry 해줄래 나타난 저는 가까이 아무나 안돼 나타난 정말 나타난 사이 멋져 거리는 가는 것 너무 멋져 밖으로 보이는 이때쯤 되면 유혹들이 새도 흔들릴 때도 no 완벽한 그림인 걸 미소와엔 관한 내 기다려 참네 언제나 들은 건부터네 쓰고 있나 That's not enough baby 나비만이 똑같은 중요해 그런 사람이 아닌 행복할래 이끌어 벅차오르게 만들어줘 자신 없음 그대와 진실 없는데 달콤한 날 Thank you for sorry 대답해줄래 나타난 저는 똑똑한 사이 아무도 안 돼 나타난 저 내가 전는 사이 너무나 힘들었지 전부 다 똑같아 지난해 했었지 마지막 하루면 오게 되고 싶어 이런 날 모르고서 모습으로만 다가오려 해 나타났죠 눈 깜짝할 사이 아무나 안 돼 나타났죠 내가 잡는 사이
我感觉不错。
天天气怎么样？
Quel temps fait-il aujourd'hui? Quel temps fait-il aujourd'hui? Quel temps fait-il aujourd'hui?
现在几点了？
Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il?
现在2点了。
Il est 2 heures. Il est 2 heures. Il est 2 heures.
你有钱吗？
Vous avez de l'argent? Vous avez de l'argent? Vous avez de l'argent?
卫生间在哪里？
Où sont les toilettes? Où sont les toilettes? Où sont les toilettes?
你几岁了？
Quel âge avez-vous? Quel âge avez-vous? Quel âge avez-vous?
我30岁。
J'ai 30 ans. J'ai 30 ans. J'ai 30 ans.
你的住址是什么？
Quelle est votre adresse? Quelle est votre adresse? Quelle est votre adresse?
你的电话号码是多少？
Quel est votre numéro de téléphone? Quel est votre numéro de téléphone? Quel est votre numéro de téléphone?
你去哪儿？
Où est-ce que vous allez?
你的电子邮箱地址是什么？
Quelle est votre adresse email? Quelle est votre adresse email? Quelle est votre adresse email?
祝你好运。
Bonne chance. Bonne chance. Bon boulot. Bon boulot. Bon boulot.
圣诞快乐！
Joyeux Noël. Joyeux Noël. Joyeux Noël.
生日快乐！
Joyeux anniversaire. Joyeux anniversaire. Joyeux anniversaire.
Santé.
Santé. Santé. Santé.